sun ain't rising in the east no more. Fire and the flames are coming up through the floor. The rain won't stop the fire. Oh, the rain won't stop the fire. We've got to head for ground. It's a little bit higher. 'Cause the rain won't stop the fire.
Steve McDonnell here from Buzz City in the attractively appointed Buzz Studio, which is ever-changing. I'm sitting here with Regina musician, Ryley Noble, and we just heard a clip from a piece of his tune called Ballad of Mackinac that was previously recorded a couple of weeks ago at Smokin' Okies during the Blues Festival. And Ryley, before we get going here, because it's all about you, I'm just going to throw out some adjectives, impressions of what I get from your music. And I got Black Cat Moan, Roots Blues, Dyed in the Wool, Nefarious Goings On, Down at the Crossroads vibe. Is that
cool?
That's what I'm getting.
Yeah, well, I guess that's maybe what I'm going for.
Cool. Okay, yeah.
Something along those lines.
For sure. Your influences, I never would have guessed Tom Waits. Johnny Cash, of course, Howlin' Wolf. Oh, absolutely. Old Crow Medicine Show. That was
those
cool.
guys are fantastic.
Yeah.
When you come to see Ryan the Vats play live, it's not all just very far from straight blues. We're all over the map with reggae music, bluegrass music, old timey country, jazz. We don't really have any set boundaries that we try and stay within.
You just channel all
we
those
just as long as
influences.
if it sounds good to us, we hope it sounds good to the rest of them.
And I can certainly vouch for the veracity of the sound. Very cool stuff. Now it was interesting to see one of the other influences, Captain Beefheart.
Beefheart,
he for sure. Had a killer, blues voice, but his blues were kind of from the Twilight Zone.
Oh, his whole thing is
the whole data kind of thing.
Yeah, he's all over the map too. He's definitely his attitude towards music, along with guys like Tom Waits and even guys like Frank Zappa and things like that. Those are huge influences on me in the way I approach music and try and take something that's relatively traditional or normal and just tweak it, throw a monkey wrench in there.
Yeah, those are fine eclectic influences, and you can launch 1,000 ships with those. And for sure you have. Now you're not originally from Regina. You said you came here from Winnipeg a couple years ago.
I moved around quite a bit since I was a kid. I was born in Yorkton actually, and moved when I was quite young, and moved around Manitoba and Saskatchewan. Been out to BC a couple of times, and I moved to Winnipeg when I got out of high school. So my musical career started in Winnipeg. Was my first paying gig opening for great bluesman Big Dave McLean.
Yeah. And,
tell
us about that.
Well, that was wild.
There's a legend.
That was great. He's a fantastic person. Really great. And I didn't know who he was.
How old were you?
I would have been 18 when I opened for him. So that would have been 5 years ago now.
Yeah.
And I went to an open mic, and I was the only musician to show up to the open mic. So they let me play for about 2.5 hours, and I just kept pulling songs out of my sleeve. And they said, "Yeah, great, come back next week. We're gonna have you open for Big Dave." I said, "Who's Big Dave?" He looked at me like I was doing card tricks for a dog. And he goes, "Well,
cool.
Do you got internet?" I said, "No." He goes, "Go to the library and look him up." So I did, and
he didn't steer you wrong.
I was awful nervous going into that gig.
So did Dave give you any pointers or any advice?
It was something that's really funny. We opened with, I guess, the Ballad of Mackinac. I wrote that song just a couple days before that show, And the first time I ever played that in front of everybody was at that show, and he came up to me after the show and told me that was his favorite song.
Yeah.
That was really all he said to me. But he's kind of a reserved guy when he's, yeah.
I can see why that would tickle his blues bone.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah, he liked it. I
Yeah.
played a few Tom Waits tunes and things like that. I don't remember this.
Did you do any playing together? Or?
Oh no, not at that time at least.
No.
I've met him.
Maybe sometime.
Yeah, I've met him. I've been to 2 of his shows. He's been to Regina twice
Yeah.
since that time in Winnipeg, and I've always chatted with him a little bit. But the opportunity to play. Yeah. Back then, when I was 18, I would have been way too nervous.
Hey, did you know that Big Dave was born and raised in Yorkton?
Wow.
No, I did not.
Well, I know for our cameraman behind the scenes here, Don List, we're dating ourselves. We go way back when we used to go see Dave, the old folk guild. This is back. We're going what 20 years? Over 20 years when Big Dave first started coming out. He wasn't as gravelly voiced back then, but
comes with time.
You came by it honestly for sure. Now, you've done some recording. You have some recordings available.
Yeah, actually, it's a bit of an exciting time right now. We recorded the album almost a year ago, and there's been a lot of different things going on that have delayed its release, but actually we're in the works of getting it released within the next week and a half. So we're hoping to have it out by St. Patrick's Day and do a CD release by early April.
Sure, and this is for your band, Ryan.
Yeah,
Ryan
that's
the Vats.
Ryan the Vats.
Is this your first official?
Official.
Release?
Yeah, I've been recording music.
It's a full meal deal.
It's a short EP. It's six songs.
Yeah.
6 songs, and since the album's been recorded, we've actually had one new member join the band. So it's a bit of it's a little bit of a lackluster feeling with it coming out, because we listen to it and it doesn't sound like that anymore to us. It's filled out, but it is what it is, and I think people still enjoy it for what it is. And,
upcoming gigs.
Upcoming gigs, we're going to be at O'Hanlon's on St. Patrick's Day. That'll be a lot of fun.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Perfect.
that's going to be great. And April 11th, we're at the Bushwhacker. I believe that's one of Redbeard's kind of...
On the Wednesday night?
I think it's a Wednesday,
Yeah.
And I think it's the Aries birthday bash or something.
Right.
I think it's Redbeard's birthday, but to be honest, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I know we're playing in the keg. That's all I know.
Yeah. Down amongst the vats, maybe.
Yeah, something like that. Well, they've got the stage set up right there beside it. It works out nicely.
Perfect. Great segue. Any venues in town that you haven't played at you'd like to play at?
Definitely the Artesian.
Yeah.
The Artesian is one that
say.
we've talked a lot about and trying to get in there. And we're still trying. We will hopefully soon.
Possibly for a CD release. Or do you have a
that would be ideal. That'd be wonderful if we could do that. If we can, I'm not sure.
Yeah. For the going back to St. Patrick's Day, do you guys have any thematic sort of St. Patty Days?
We're working on a few
Celtic sort of
things.
stuff,
It could be. We're kind of chalking that up, leaving it up to a surprise. We'll see.
Yeah.
Come out and see us, and you'll see.
We were listening to a clip of the Ballad of Mackinac that was recorded a few weeks back at the Regina Midwinter Blues Festival. Intrigued by that tune, and I was intrigued at the time. What is give us a background, a story on that?
That song was, as I said earlier, I was riding after the open mic in Winnipeg. I was actually in the midst of moving to Regina, so I was moving some stuff to Manitoba to my dad's place before I moved to Regina. And as we were driving, we drove through this Manitoba ghost town called Mackinac, which is just it's a few minutes east of Laurier, I believe. And on the way, my dad was pitching me songs and things like that. And
Your dad was pitching you songs?
Oh yeah. He's not really a songwriter, but he's got a lot of ideas. Some are good. Some are good. Some are not so good. I think the only one I've used is this one. But
it's a good one.
We came up. Well, yeah, and he shooting me these ideas, and then we got up to the town, and I said Mackinac, and the name caught me first because I thought that's such a cool, nice name. And he told me the story of it, and it was a prospering small town in the 1920s, and in 1930 there was a fire that started in someone's barn, and there happened to be a storm going on throughout the day, and it pretty much spread the fire across the entire town and wiped out the entire town. If you search Google, that's how I did it, to check and make sure he wasn't just pulling my leg. he does once in a while. And yeah, I searched it and I found all the pictures of the town before and after the fire, and it's wild. And my stepmom is from Laurier, and a lot of her family grew up in that area around that time. So I've heard a few stories about it. And I was like, there's a song there. So.
Well, it's always cool when you can document Canadiana.
Oh yeah, well yeah,
history.
and the best stories are usually true stories, right? Sure. And tragedies.
Yeah, I mean that's in the spirit of songwriters. Gordon Lightfoot.
Definitely, yeah. Gordon Lightfoot, guys like newer guys like Corb Lund is one of my
exactly.
one of my major influences, especially when it comes to writing about my home country and things like that. Definitely.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot to be written.
To hear the Ballad of Mackinac live, you can check out Ryley and Ryan the Vats at O'Hanlon's on, what's the date again?
O'Hanlon's March 17th, St. Paddy's Day.
St. Paddy's Day. What's online? Is Reverb Nation?
You can check out, there's a Reverb Nation, there's just go to our Facebook page or CBC Radio 3. We have a page up for that as well.
Yeah, I was just on that page, actually.
Yeah.
All right, this is Buzz City with Ryley Noble signing out.
Our church is burning, there's no doubt. Lord Almighty, well, He won't put this one out. There's nowhere left to pray for the town of Mackinac. One's Judgment Day. No, the rain won't stop the fire. No, the rain won't stop the fire. Oh, we've got to hit the ground. It's a little bit high, 'cause the rain won't stop the fire.